If Tommy Shelby from the Peaky Blinders had a sinister scent, this would be it right here. So let's review Bon Parfumeur 902. Hey, what's up guys? Hunter here and welcome back to the channel where I upload weekly fragrance content, so you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button down below and also make sure to follow me over on my Instagram page. So today we are reviewing another fragrance from the house of Bon Parfumeur, which I've been hyping up lately, and that's for very good reason, guys. This is one of my new favorite niche houses, and I think probably one of the best bangs for your buck in the perfume industry. And I'm so excited to be bringing you 902 today because this one blew me away. And I do want to shout out Bon Parfumeur for sending this one over for review. Of course, I'm still going to keep it completely transparent with you guys. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. And that's the case because the last one I reviewed from this house, I didn't give the best review because it wasn't for me personally. So I always keep it honest with you guys. But this one right here, I'm telling you, is something very special. Now let's go over some information. So 902 was launched in 2017. So it has been around for a while, which is shocking to me because I don't see many people talking about this banger here. So that just goes to show you this is going to be a hidden gem. Now for the retail price, on the 100 ml bottle is going to run you $120, guys. That's not even a discounted price. That's the full retail price, which, like I said, is one of the best bangs for your buck in the niche perfume industry. There's not many niche fragrances out there that can be found for $120. So that is insane. And the quality of the stuff is also just crazy. The concentration with this one is an eau de parfum. So you are getting a highly concentrated fragrance, of course, above an eau de cologne or an eau de toilette, which is also another great value with this. Now, the perfumer behind 902 is Karine Dubreuil Sorini. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not, but she is the nose behind this one, and also the nose behind like Givenchy Gentleman's Society and Gucci pour Homme too. So she has created some bangers in her resume, and also has made a few for Bon Parfumeur, such as 004, which I also do own, and that's a summer banger. Now with all the information out of the way, let's look at the packaging and presentation you'll get with Bon Parfumeur 902 now. Alright, take a look at the box, which I love the aesthetic of these Bon Parfumeur boxes and bottles. Of course, this is part of the 900 collection, which is your special blends in the black. And also on the front, you do have some of your notes, which is cognac, tobacco blonde, and cinnamon. Eau de parfum 100 ml. On the bottom, you do have some of your ingredients, as well as a batch code to authenticate your product and see when it was produced. And then on the back, some more information. This is special intense, barcode, and then nothing on top. So let's look at the bottle now. So take a look at the bottle, which, like I said, I love the simplistic style of these. They look so expensive, luxurious, and just not too complicated. On the front, of course, you do have that 902 and that black kind of sticker on the front, Bon Parfumeur Paris. Your notes. On the bottom, you will have your sticker with your information as well as your batch code. Nothing really on the back. On top, you do have the Bon Parfumeur logo. I think it's engraved in the cap. Nothing inside the cap, nothing on the atomizer, and these do hold on by friction very snugly. In the top, you have cognac, orange, ginger, and basil. In the mid, you have cinnamon, plum, cloves, and geranium. And in the base, you have tobacco, vanilla, patchouli, and labdanum. And this will be classified as a spicy sweet. So let's spray this and test out these atomizers. Very nice atomizer. It is kind of pressurized, so you can spray a little bit or a lot, which is always good. So let's go ahead and remind myself of 902, and I already detected. Wow guys, I honestly cannot believe how good this fragrance is, because in the opening you are going to get this very smooth, slightly sweet cognac note that makes it very boozy. And that's why I said in the intro, just imagine like Tommy Shelby kind of just lounging back, sipping on some cognac. That's the vibe 902 gives off. Might be one of my new favorite boozy fragrances in my entire collection, giving even By Kilian's Angel Share a run for its money. Now, along with that boozy cognac, you are going to get this fruity, fresh orange note, which is actually pretty prominent to my nose. I don't see many people talk about the orange in here, but I'm definitely detecting it. It's almost like if you squeeze an orange inside a cognac kind of glass, that's the kind of smell I get, the boozy orange vibe, along with this spicy, zesty ginger note. And gingers quickly become one of my favorite notes of all time, and that wasn't the case back in the day, but I've grown to love it. And you will also get this pinch of this herbaceous kind of aromatic basil note, which isn't dominant, but it is there if you kind of detect it. And I just gotta say, this is a very complex opening with 902. Now, making our way into the mid is when it becomes very spicy, and that's primarily from this spicy cinnamon note, which is dominant, along with this very spicy cloves. And I just love when the note of cloves is used in perfumery because it brings a very, very spicy, kind of cozy, warm touch to it. And cloves might be my favorite spice in all of fragrances. Yeah, the spiciness comes through very, very quick. Now, alongside the spicy cinnamon and cloves, you are gonna get this fruity, dark, kind of purple plum note. And I know a lot of you guys watching this one are a fan of plum fragrances. So if that's you, you will fall in love with 902 because you are gonna get a hefty dose of that plum. I'm a sucker for a good plum fragrance. Of course, when I think of plum, the first fragrance that comes to my mind is like Tom Ford's Plum Japonais, which is the fragrance that kind of took off with that plum trend, and now we have so many plum fragrances, which is a great thing. I believe Bon Parfumier has a plum dominant fragrance, I believe 401 or 402 if I'm not mistaken, which I'm gonna have to get my nose on. But just so far, a very boozy, spicy, and fruity fragrance with that top in the mid. Now, as you make your way into the base of 902 is where you're gonna get one of the most dominant fragrances in this composition, which is that tobacco. However, the tobacco in here is not really like your cherry pipe tobacco. It's a more fresh, kind of green, leafy tobacco is what I'm kind of getting. And I think that's what they went for with the tobacco blonde. It's not a very like dark, deep, dense tobacco. It's just a more airy, kind of fresh, leafy tobacco note, which I think is very unique. Just picture relaxing in a very classy cigar lounge, sipping on your cognac, smoking your cigar. If you ever wanted to capture that smell, it's captured with 902 without a doubt. Now, alongside that kind of leafy, green, earthy tobacco, you will also get a very earthy patchouli, which patchouli is one of my favorite notes of all time. Definitely in my top 3, so you are going to get a nice dose of that. Along with the earthy tobacco and patchouli, you will just get this kind of spicy vanilla. It's not a sweet or creamy vanilla, it's a very spicy vanilla. And that kind of just goes along with this entire fragrance being very, very spicy. Just one of the most realistic smelling kind of cognac, boozy tobacco fragrances I've ever got my nose on. The kind of fragrance that's perfectly suited for somebody that's in power, maybe a mobster, like I said, that suits Thomas Shelby perfectly. When it comes to the house of Bon Parfumier, this is gonna be my favorite for the fall and winter. And then 803 is gonna be my favorite for like the spring and summer because this stuff right here is literally a masterpiece. Out for the best seasons to wear 902 is gonna be absolutely the fall and winter, not really the spring or summer. This just screams cold weather, fall time vibes. And I promise you, this is gonna be so heavy in my rotation once the fall hits. This right here is absolutely gonna be a weapon during the cold months. For occasion, this one definitely leans more on the formal side of things. Of course, when you think of tobacco, boozy, spicy fragrances, you think more formal rather than something casual. When I smell this one, I just picture somebody dressed up in like a suit, a tuxedo, somebody that means business, isn't here to mess around. And just kind of picture the kind of attire that people wear in Peaky Blinders if you ever watched that show. That is exactly what I picture when I smell this fragrance. If you want to know what people smell like in Peaky Blinders, this is it. Now when it comes to gender, I believe the entire collection of Bon Parfumier is targeted as unisex. However, I think this one does lean on the masculine side. I think it's a very masculine fragrance. I couldn't really picture a woman wearing this one. Doesn't mean she couldn't. Just for me, guys, I wouldn't really want my girl wearing something like this. This might even be one of the most masculine fragrances I've ever got my nose on. It just screams masculinity. Just a masculine gentleman kind of sipping on cognac, smoking a cigar, talking business. That's exactly what this fragrance is. But if you are a woman watching this, you love kind of smoky, tobacco, boozy, spicy fragrances, then you could check it out. But I say just leave this one for the boys. Now for age groups, I don't even got to think twice. It's a mature fragrance. There's nothing youthful about this whatsoever. This is not going to be like your teenager kind of fragrance at all. But still, I could picture a early 20-year-old wearing this one very good. So I would basically say just anybody 21 and up appreciating this one the best, maybe even older than that, maybe 30 and up. Of course, once you turn 21, you start drinking, etc. This is going to be a very good boozy fragrance for you. Just be careful though, if you get pulled over wearing this one, the officer might think you've been drinking because that's how authentic this fragrance smells. Wrapping the review off, talking on the performance you should expect if you get a bottle of 902. So for my testing, I did get above average performance with this one, which means I did get about a good solid 10 hours of longevity from my testing, which means it's easily gonna last you the majority of the day, not the kind of fragrance you're gonna have to reapply or anything like that, which is fantastic and one of the better performers from Bon Parfumier from the ones I own. No complaints whatsoever when it comes to the longevity as well with the projection. I did get about moderate projection, so it was more than like a soft intimate projector, but it wasn't necessarily like a beast mode nuclear room filler projector either. But it's the kind of fragrance that will get the job done. It's gonna last you all day long for the most part and project very good. Moderate means people around you will smell you maybe at like a arm's length and a half away if you're just standing still, but if you're walking around, forget about it. The sillage with this one is so good. Like when I'm walking around wearing this one, guys, I kept like turning around just to get a whiff of that sillage behind me because I was obsessed with the way this fragrance smells when I wore it. If you're the kind of guy that wants to smell very masculine, like you're not messing around and you want other people to detect that as well, definitely get 902 because the projection and the longevity is extremely good. So that's gonna do it for my review of 902 from Bon Parfumeur. Let me know down below if you guys actually tried this house yet. I know I've talked about a few of them so far, and I still have a few that I'm gonna review in the future, but if you want a fall, winter, boozy, tobacco, spicy fragrance, definitely, I would recommend checking this out. If you had the chance to try any of them, let me know down below your favorite from them. And I know I got a few of you guys enjoying this house too. Besides that, leave a like, subscribe below if you guys haven't already, and of course, I'll catch all of you back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.